Producing Hope. It's your boy Charlie Rock, Turk. We got our special guest today, Mr.
Grant Countess, student out at Harding University.
That way.
And Chad Stevens, I'm a senior at Harding.
New guy, aka new guy.
Welcome in here tonight.
We got big homie Paul on the end.
Big homie Paul.
That way.
PZP.
So what y'all got going on, man? What's going on?
And putting in work at school. We're out here hanging with you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Giving y'all this time, but we're here to learn from you guys, man. I'm having a blast just learning from you guys. Y'all teach everything about life, business. Y'all know what's up. Man. Y'all know what's up.
I heard you skipped school today.
Hey, you got me out of this class.
Was that an excused absence?
What? Turk, you get me an excused absence?
Hey, man. I don't know what happened. So I told him to go to class.
That's the first time.
Tell people up there at Harding University.
Man, Harding University, that's our place.
You're right.
Yeah,
we thank y'all for coming out and rocking with us today, man. We went out there, we did a speaking engagement in Harding University. Everything was cool. They came out and they supported, man. We appreciate the support all day long, especially Mr. John. What did you do, John? Put it together, man. Got us out there. We appreciate that. We're going to episode 3 of our docu-series. Paul, you was there. You actually was there because you helped us design our first sweater. You know what I'm saying?
Harding University.
And on this episode, we had just started putting this company together. This is when we first came up with it. Got the design and Paul like, what y'all gonna do with the clothing line?
This is when we was arguing and fighting it.
Yeah.
Everybody was mad at each other. Because everybody wanted to do their own design. They wanted their own thing.
After we watch this, because this has been a number of months ago.
Yeah.
We've had snowstorms and Christmas and all that since then. But I can't wait till we watch this and then we come out of it and y'all talk about kind of where you've been since then.
Right.
Because you've really been thinking about the business and developing it.
Right.
So I look forward to the talk on the other side. And anyone online, as we're watching this thing, if you've got any questions for the guys or any of us, then go ahead and type them in the comments and we'll see if we're sophisticated enough to see them. We'll try to get them answered. So why don't we roll that film? We ready?
Yeah, let's roll this, man. Episode 3 of the document.
EME this motherfucker.
got anything to say, but
All right,
I'm listening.
I knew-
And there's a big one.
Listen to what Chad has to say.
It's on you, Turk. Hey, we sorry for the technical difficulties that we were having. Thank y'all for staying tuned in.
That's part of the game.
Yeah, Big Homie John just joined the table though.
Yeah.
Big homie, John.
Big homie
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, well,
I'm the oldest G.
right.
Right. Right.
Hey, we want to thank you, man. You invited us down to Hardin today. It was my first time ever speaking in front of a college crowd, things of that order. And Turk done it before, but that was my first time. But appreciate you bringing us down there. Y'all brought us in with open arms and all love. And we showed the love back. We didn't bring you to the hub before, so you
Have to return the hospitality.
Yeah,
You guys were great there today. So I asked the students.
Yeah,
what do you
yeah.
guys, Grant, Chad?
No, I heard great feedback from a lot of people. They were talking, just several conversations afterwards. I was like, these guys got a story, they got a message, they got a product, they're putting it out there. I think y'all drummed up like a lot of like excitement on campus. That's cool. Just hearing that message already take root.
right.
Especially when we got out in the crowd and just really got to mingle and stuff, and really just to figure out that they was really listening and really, you know what I'm saying, in tune to what was going on. So that was really exciting for me. So when I got in the crowd and seeing how many people interacted with us, I was like, yeah, we serving our purpose.
Yeah, and that was the most thing that I remember was like just reaching out and rocking with the people.
Yeah.
So that was the cool part about it, being with the people.
Like our food drives.
Right.
We rock with the people.
Right.
Yeah. So
That was the best part.
Y'all are natural.
we natural people rockers.
Y'all are.
We
Chad,
natural.
what do you have to say about today?
Woo.
I'd say a lot of good interest, like Grant said. Just a lot of people want to know more,
Yeah.
get to know y'all.
Yeah.
A lot of good came from it. So.
We come back to this class whenever you want us in the class with her.
Man, I gotta come see the dorms, bro. I was talking so much, I forgot that I was supposed to go see the dorm. And then he looked up, talking about, I was for time to go. And I was like, nah, man, I ain't see the dorms yet, but man, we're gonna get down there ASAP to get in them dorms, man.
Armstrong, first floor, baby.
Yeah, Armstrong, first
you got
floor,
a
baby.
Come on, come through.
Yeah, we get to see the gym or the football field. So
Yeah.
this time we have to take.
So we
our
got some
time.
tours.
Right.
Y'all owe us a tour around the school. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking forward to having your son in class.
Right. I told you he on his way. We're gonna get him there.
Oh, bro.
Serious.
Yeah, little Brody.
Get
We working
y'all
with
to
him.
cancel class for me next time.
Yeah, I told him we got him in trouble. He came out, man. He skipped class to get out there to see him.
Now, John, you actually brought your class out, didn't you?
I did bring my class. I'm interested in the feedback on Thursday. Chad is in that class, so he's subjected to me twice a week. So you'll have
They
to-
came out deep.
Good report, man.
They represented for OJ.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And you had a lot of students that actually knew about our background on the streets, and you know that was exciting. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, dude really know us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, he's like, man, his little feedback he gave us really gave us a good confidence and
He's a
stuff.
big hype man over
Yeah.
Tyler Moore is it okay if we say people's names on? It's too late now, right?
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Tyler Moore. Yeah, you know he was he really had a lot of comments with you guys.
He
was
did.
really
He did.
Yeah, that's
he,
how
he,
it goes.
he knew some people close to us,
Right.
like real close to us. So he really did know us.
Yeah.
But we thought you was playing. He really did know
in the
us.
game.
Yeah.
Shout out to
And,
Tyler,
hey,
man.
you a legend. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he know us.
So I'm interested, there was a question from the crowd out there that said, what's been the hardest thing for y'all and your journey for entrepreneurship? And you said, listen, just getting along and making decisions.
Right.
You teach entrepreneurship and sit on boards of a lot of startups and other companies. Is that unusual, or is that
not unusual at all?
So people fight and within which you just, I ain't gonna say fight, but do a lot of
good ones. I think
Right.
you get. I mean, people who are trying to do, but what you've got to do is, like you said, your relationship is stronger than that. So your relationship is stronger than the business. I'm teaching a family business class right now, and you have to be careful to understand that the family is more important than the business. Right.
So that's why when we got into it, he told his mama on me.
Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, I got mama called on me and everything, man.
Well, if mom
I had to
says,
back up.
you got to listen to mom.
I did,
man.
I did.
Right.
Sure.
Don't mess with
I'm
mom.
listening to it 100%. I got in trouble.
So, no, that's not uncommon. That's how good decisions are made.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you guys are really getting along in the entrepreneurship process. Especially, I thought there was a lot of good feedback on the gear,
Right.
on the design, on the
Right.
quality, on
Right.
things like that.
They really liked it.
So-
They really liked the design. They asked a lot of questions about it. You know what I'm saying? And like I had to let them know though, Hardy did, invest into the design too, because Hardy was there in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And they the one who gave the homeboy the green light to say, that's it. And he got up and ran. You probably seen it on the little show over there. That was one of our great moments on that.
For audio wouldn't have
Yeah. So,
been so bad there. In fact, that's where we were frozen right there. Was
right.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, Josiah, yeah.
We was right there in there figuring out what
What's
we
his
was going to
name?
put on the show.
Joe, ain't it?
Josiah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's very passionate about that.
Yeah, he won us. For real.
Yeah, Hard Rockin', man. We doing that thing with Hard, man. We're going to have to come up with a unique design, just a cold, hard design, and just rock it out.
Yeah. We're trying to get down there and do the 100 families and see if they allow us to do our food drive down there.
I think
I know
that's
some of those folks.
You do?
Yeah.
Bet you
Okay.
do know.
I would recommend they don't mess with y'all.
Tell them we got the coldest barbecue po roast chicken.
Yeah.
Come rock with us. We got that
Yeah,
po
man.
roast.
Y'all bring po roast.
We bring the po
We
roast.
might get in with four rolls and honey.
If we can get through this pandemic where you can have something in Searcy where you invite the students, you would have a great time.
Hey, I got a big backyard.
As long as it's not
Oh
sponsored
yeah,
by-
it was great.
I don't want to be on Governor Hutchinson.
Man, I like to give a shout out to the weather, man. The weather was nice as crazy out there, man. For us to have a snowstorm and then bounce back to where you had a regular shirt on and I got hot up in this hoodie. I said, oh, it's time to come up with these t-shirts now. Hey, y'all know t-shirts coming soon. Get ready. Yeah.
You guys had a nice and a nice dialogue.
did.
What you had to say was really, really good. Yeah, you did well.
Yeah.
Thirdly, you may want to go into motivational speaking or something. What do you think, Paul?
Motivational speaking.
How much does motivational speaking
The
pay?
turn. 150.
But depends. It depends how good the promoter is.
How much does
And
it pay?
if you get a turkey challenge, mate, the show gonna be 5 hours.
5 hours. We don't want no 1 hour. We gonna go for a while. And every day.
I'm looking forward to our podcast.
Yeah.
So you
I was
chop
joking
it
with
up.
that. Yeah, I was telling him about it today.
Right.
I said, my guy said he gonna get a podcast. I said, what you gonna have on that? Scientist?
Yeah.
Astronaut? I said, boy, you gonna have an amazing podcast. You got them on there.
Senator.
Yeah, that's what they said. I said all this other stuff, and he's like, he's like, who's gonna listen to that? You need somebody like me on there. That's what he said.
But we gonna make it right though. We gonna make it work.
I'll have
One
you
thing about
rock.
EME, everybody we help with business.
We're gonna bring a little hood out of them. We'll bring a little
We
hood out of
manifest
them,
it.
man. We had a conversation going on something like everywhere,
Yeah.
Like today, we was like accepted, and it was an all white crowd.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
now, we had 2 blacks,
Yeah.
and they knew us. That was the crazy part. For real. We didn't even know they knew us. And they was they really some fans. I'm like,
Man,
oh, okay, that's
everybody
what's
was
up.
telling them they were friendly, man. And you know what I'm saying? It was a cool little look, with it was everything that we talk about through our brand, the empowering my environment, and unity with every side. And,
Yeah.
man, it was a good look for both
Good
sides,
look.
man. We had
Good
some
look.
good communicate. We had some good dialogue going out there
We
today.
had to get them hyped. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they trying to white folks is a little bit. Hey, hold up, what it do?
They just didn't know. After they caught on, they do it. They turned up after they caught on.
What do you think? You think we could? I'm starting to learn some of the lingo.
Yeah.
I'm starting to teach me no cap.
You should. You know, John, how you really learn is just jump right in and start using the lingo.
Yeah, that's what I just did. No cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. You like that? You should try it out in your class too.
Yeah. You should
Hey, Paul already got his nickname, Peasy, Ren up there. So it's in there.
But there were a lot of people that came up to me on the way out that said that they were very interested. You met a couple of them.
They asked us one of the main questions, like what could they do, you know what I'm saying, to link with it. And what we told them that we like to do and what we based on, we give a lot. So food drives are number one on our list of what we do. So if you got anything that you like to give to the people or any way to do it, link up with EME, and we're going to put our little style in it, our little twist in it, and you might have you a good little event.
To close.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and working with Paul, trying to build bigger programs for the community, Big Brother programs and single mother programs. We trying to figure out a way where we can make it help, where we can bring resources back to our neighborhood. Yeah. That's our number one priority. Even outside of the clothing line, that's cool, but really, we've been in it to, bring resources back to our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It's more from the heart than it is about the cheddar. I love the cheddar though. Don't get it twisted.
But I think you make a good point because you guys are building a community. Right. Part of that community is your brand, and part of that brand, it's one of you guys said it today. I think Max said, you're actually helping people,
right?
And as part of that, you hope to make money that you can then use because you guys have put a lot of money back into the community.
Yeah, in that way.
In our personal life,
through this, so we always put back into our communities.
Always give it back,
right? So that's always been it's meant though.
That's what you need to come talk to the students about. See, I keep telling them now, Chad, when you're rich, you need to give back.
Yeah. And then another thing is
you gotta feed the wolves.
You gotta feed and just interacting in the community,
right?
Knowing somebody in there, you know what I'm saying? Not just passing through. Literally going out there to take the time. Like they was messing with a young girl there who feed the homeless. And he was like, "Oh man, she pick up a homeless man and woo."
Just worried about her.
I know you worried about her, but that's good that she do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So because she don't know what she might have that blessing. That same man might be that man to give her that blessing and give her that one key.
It's kind of dangerous nowadays. Please have somebody with you.
Yeah, you do that. Right. You know what I mean? It's the heart that what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What she do.
When you did, that's biblical, right? It's when you did one of those, you did it for me. Right. That's what Jesus said. Right. So
and then when people see you in a neighborhood and they see you on a repeatedly, and they be like, "Oh, that's the guy that always go in there. That's the guy that always go in there." You eventually get protected like that because we see every day that that's that guy to go over there. Now we see some bull stuff come your way, and we like, man, that dude always come in this store. You know what I'm saying? And we able to get control of the situation because now you mingling in the neighborhood, and now we knowing you, and that's how we create allies. So we just want. Like Hardy, us, we can mingle a little bit, get the people down in each other's environments to touch hands with people and just unite with every side.
When we first started talking, it was late summer, I think, last year. And the thing, as y'all were figuring out what you were wanting to go do and we're landing on this, we have to change the environment. I've been doing kind of this nonprofit stuff for about 15 years in justice. And so I read a lot of papers and look at best practices that are out there. But the environment that we were in impacts our decisions and our actions. And the hospital can actually show you by zip code what your life expectancy is by zip code.
Right.
And so that really resonated with me. So instead of just kind of doing a class, that kind of thing, I thought, well, maybe there's something here because, last summer, George Floyd had happened. The protests were going on, and there are a lot of people that were wondering, they wanted to change things, but they don't know what to do. I mean, they're getting up every day, and they're going to work, and they're raising their family and dealing with life. They'd like to be a part of changing something, but they don't know how. And what I think y'all are doing is you want to change your community, and and you're looking for some allies to help you do it.
Right.
I can't change your community.
Right.
I could help you though.
Together we can.
Yeah, and it's through relationship.
Right.
It can't be transactional.
And trust.
It has to be through relationship and that's right. And trust.
That's when we amen. That's an amenable point.
So that's why I'm excited about EME.
And it's
No, that's a great point, Paul. Thanks for saying that. And what these guys too is that by getting out to some of these people who don't know what to do, is they're giving them an opportunity to give. When you give someone the opportunity to give, that's a gift, right? So,
and just a chance to open up a dialogue. Like it's hard. I mean, it's easiest for us to like communicate. Like in y'all area, it would be more harder for white people to accept baby because the stigma that y'all have to go up to, and then not only that, when y'all leave, the people y'all have to, what you doing around here? So it's different coming from y'all side. My side, my people, they come like a little peaceful anyway. Just passive is just what it is. But for y'all to meet in the middle, that's what says a lot, and bringing that unity and starting that dialogue to build into the future.
Right.
Because
take y'all, bro.
Right.
Real.
Like,
and y'all go through a lot, like when trying to help us. You know what I'm saying? I went through an example where the older lady was helping us, like us, EME, and then she ended up getting some mail come through the mail, and was like, "Oh, we like what you're doing, helping them," but they disrespected her too. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, it's evil and all done. And she was an older lady, and right. But she still represent EME though. That's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And she still hollered at us. But that's the kind of stuff you can go through in this.
Let me throw this out. You guys. I'm again the oldest G at the table. But, I'm a bit older than Paul, but you guys are young to me, right? Right. But these guys are even the next generation. Can you guys get some of the guys their age to come up here and
just
meet with them?
That's what it's all about. It's called a function. Yeah, we are trying to function. You feel me? So they supposed to function. We always put our little homies together and let them link in and somewhere give them the little guys they need, but kind of stay out their way because they generation rock way more different than what we came in. You know what I'm saying? They kind of they do their thing a little bit more together than our generation and your generation before. So we link them in and they do their thing. They figure it out. As long as all of them respect everybody, gooch. Yeah. And they figure it out, man, and pay their way.
We're gonna take them out one day. We told them we're gonna take them out on one of the weekends.
They can all go get that bag together and make it work. Make it work, and then that way when the whites and the blacks and everybody got that same economic power, man, it can be an amazing thing. Because they can work together and they can build a future that's way bigger and brighter than what.
So let's talk about a couple of things that you think if we were able to do inside the neighborhood, that would really spark some hope and give some help.
Like, you need training. You need training facilities where people can go and they can learn trades. They can learn,
hand trade facilities, like things like pay you to learn. Also, like you get paid on the job, you taking
an apprenticeship kind of thing.
Yeah, that way. And then you have a lot of musical talent and just visual talent and just art talent in the neighborhood. So you want to get a type of a place to nurture those talents, studios, and art centers and things.
What kind of art?
Graffiti. We love graffiti. You know what I'm saying? And then not only just design.
Can you sell that? Can you make money?
Yes.
You can sell anything.
People pay to get their buildings. Right now. Yeah, right. And then just being a natural artist. You know what I'm saying? You can paint pictures. You go somewhere where you can practice your art. Right. You can have an art teacher and stuff right there in the hood that can.
A lot of these buildings A lot of these buildings in the city need to be wrote on a little bit, painted on and stuff. The city kind of dead out there. If you look at our city, it needs some paint and some light too.
Fort Smith did that. They started a couple Have y'all been through Fort Smith?
Long.
They have murals on the sides of a lot of their buildings downtown. It's really cool.
They show unity. They respect our art. You know what I'm saying? They let us do our thing. You know, that's a good thing when you let the community come in and actually draw on something.
Mm-hmm.
That show art. And that's what I see they need more of, like more art show programs and stuff. So, you know, so y'all can see our talent and see that we can breathe from at home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We breed champions here now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of untapped talent. You know, it's just not a lot of avenues or just the businesses set up to get these people heard or get this out of. You know, we have a lot of good rappers in Little Rock, but they don't have
singles,
proper
actors,
avenues to get their stuff out. You know what I'm saying? The radio station might not play the locals or things like this. So you want to set up businesses and avenues so these people can get their art out and we can catch up with the rest of the country.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like Arkansas, third or from last in poor. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the poorest states. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that can breed a lot of artistic talents.
But they haven't invested yet in the city. And that's what we hear now. And that's what we really want to be a voice about. Like we need some of our powerful elites to invest in these communities. Start investing in the talent. They forget about investing in the talent. You know, the talent is kind of what's getting in trouble out there because they were screaming out.
But let me ask you this question. So, do you think that people in some of the more affluent parts of Little Rock actually know about South End? They actually know the people there? Do they actually ever get into that neighborhood?
When I started meeting my people and my friends that I got in the game, I thought they do, but they really don't know. Like, y'all really don't know what's going on down here. I thought maybe it was a joke, like, is they playing with us? Like, what's going on? They don't know what's happening, but they ain't paying attention. They really not checking it out. Or they might be just too rich to even care. You know what I'm saying? They might be just living in their own worlds up there, but they need to pay more attention to the streets. You know what I'm saying?
So especially, let's talk about why. So let's make the argument for why you should care.
Because that's why we the poorest state, but we number 5 in crime.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's why. Because our crime rates are sky high.
Right. And how does that impact somebody that's, say, living out in far west Little Rock and not impacted by the crime?
Because it can come up out of my neighborhood and come to yours. So and then once it comes to yours, then it's a problem. Then the police and the folks start coming. So you want to...
Let's assume that it doesn't make it out of the neighborhood, because usually it doesn't if you look at the neighborhoods where the high crime is. But what's that do to the rest of the city?
It devalues the city.
Straight up.
I think that's there you are. Double click on that one.
Right. If my neighborhood is devalued, then so is yours.
Right.
Know that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You run out of mind. They might try to class us or
what they know us for right now.
But you can't. If yours is looking good and mine looking bad, it's still a reflection on you.
You know what banging in the rock was going on back in the 90s?
Yeah.
I started working mid-90s. I started working for a very large corporation here. And so technology was on the rise, and we were consolidating data centers and trying to convince people from other parts of the country to move here. So what we would do is we'd bring people in and we'd show the campus was beautiful. We'd show them the campus. And then if they had kids, they would drive them to Conway. And they're going, this is where you will live.
Right.
Because they were looking at crime statistics. And it was very difficult to get some people that were actually doing research to move here because they were looking at crime. Now that stuff's just you go to Zillow and you just scroll right down. It's right there. You had to dig for it before. And it was impacting it. So the crime does impact our city.
We know for crime. Like people put
it's hard to bring a new business
I'll
here.
tell you, it's amazing that I've done a little bit of research since we've been working together, and I'm shocked at the amount of crime that we have in Little Rock. But I believe, and I preach this in Chad's class that he's in with me, is that I don't believe that you can be successful or a society can be businesses can be successful in a broken society. So eventually, this causes more trouble, you have to pay attention to it. Now, then I take it back to faith and I'll say, well, we're called to.
I mean, but how much more pay attention can we do on the streets? Because we already screaming. If you check it, we top 5. We've been number 1 in murder rates. We've been all of this.
It's
so how
shocking.
much do we got to scream before they pay attention?
It's shocking. As I told you guys today, is that I had a intern or a student pull the homicides in the 3 zip codes that South End is defined as, right it's actually between John Barrow and I-30 south of Roosevelt.
South of 630.
East side.
It's actually, I think it was south of Roosevelt, actually. This was, and it was 40.
East and John Burrow. That's us.
40 homicides out of the 56. 40 homicides in that area. What can be the population of that area? I mean, they were telling us when we talked to the guys in Los Angeles that they said East LA had 15 per 100,000. There can't be 50,000 people there.
Right.
It's just
war on them streets.
Statistically, it's one of the most dangerous places in the United States.
Right.
A mile from here, it's one of the most dangerous places in the United States statistically. That's not acceptable.
We got to get some more Hardys to help us out down here.
All right.
Got to get some more Hardys to help us out
man. And that's one advantage that Big Turk and Mac and Kelly going to try to take advantage of, because now with us knowing you and us knowing Paul, we can get some of our little homies and be like, hey, you want to go to college? You want to go to college? And if they do, we know people to place them with, and y'all can tell them how they can get in, and you know what I'm saying? And we can put them around y'all, put them around the right people for them to keep their focus and they can go do what they do. So that's, like I said, if we get the resources, we'll be able to do it.
Just get somebody to care.
Right.
I'll volunteer Paul and me and Grant and Chad. If you want to have some kids to talk to about that, then I'd be all over that.
Right.
So
I'd really like to work on the arts, especially on a studio that could actually produce revenue, so that, you know, if we could find someone to donate the equipment,
right,
and you get the we're looking for space now for Restore Hope, that we would turn into a 100 families resource center down there. But if we could find some space and put that soundproofing in it and have a little studio, but it could churn money. It could pay some rent, so we could keep the utilities on. But you could turn it into a business that would be South End owned.
Right.
Then it would run as a business, and therefore, you know, and those dollars are likely to stay in South End.
Right. And you've been very instrumental in that. You know, we've been talking about it because Turk been wanting the studio forever. And so, I can get back in the business. No, I ain't studying the music business.
I just feel like CEOs can control the streets.
Right. So
better than the teachers.
Actually, they can.
That's an interesting comment that we can follow up on that in a second, to say how you do it with public-private partnership. But but what I would say, I would even build on what you're saying, Paul, and I would tell you that there's people in South End who are extremely bright who have something to say. Then you could do podcasts too.
Yeah.
And
that's right. So you could
have geeky white guys like me. There, right. So.
Right. Well, and so part of the artistic deal is let's say you can't sing, but it's a new way of teaching communication.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you actually try to get your point across, and then how do you argue the point? Mm-hmm. And so the medium's all moving into social media, and being able to broadcast to millions is not the way to build it. You got to go find a tribe of people that really care about your thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you can move from
1,000
there.
good followers.
That's right. 1,000
devoted followers that's all you need.
And not only that, we have cameras and stuff now. So we have production in video, and production in music. So people have different music. So
leadership, safety, comfort,
all those type of things.
We got it all.
Right. And we have programs for those type of things in different outlets.
And because you think Charlie makes a good point. Because what happens is that it goes to another step of art to build even more on what you're talking about, because if you give production, education and opportunity there with some software to edit, because you think that, I mean, this is what these guys would tell you, and they're probably right, is that the fact that we all carry a camera around is the reason that we're even being aware of certain things on the streets within the last year, right? So everyone's carrying a camera. All they need is ability to edit it. Now, it's not as, but then you could also have additional equipment where they could do certain things.
Well, and it's the teaching too. I mean, there is an art. So it's never been easier to be able to take a video, to edit a video, to adjust your sound, and to put it up on something that's free, Facebook, YouTube. But how do you tell a story? There's an art and actually some science in telling a story.
Right.
That's what I think we could teach.
Right.
And then if
we provide an audience, I think that there would be some people.
He already told me, he already have him and Ren Ren, man. They've taught me I'm a lightweight producer because of Paul and Ren Ren. You know, they've been just gradually teaching me little things, and I'm catching on. And just that simple stuff right there that can get a person as to where it is. All I need is a story, and I can shoot the visual. And it's that simple, and you can create a person who's doing big movies. I'm about to be thinking like this, but we teach the next person, he thinking like that. So we want to.
I think this is the new, and you can use. So if you're kind of thinking about it around development,
that's a really good idea. Keep tracking down that with the studio down there for all types of arts.
Yes,
visual art, painting, multimedia.
You've got design. So you've got the graphic design,
right?
Because who's going to click on your video? Well, the thumbnail and the title. So you've got to be thinking about how you tell the story and your title, and then your thumbnail needs to be well designed.
Right.
You can't just let YouTube pick your thumbnail out of your video like I do, because frankly, I'm on to the next thing. Right? That's not good. And so, how do you teach that, and then give access to equipment where you might be able to go build your own thing, and then you can go buy your own stuff. Right? That I'm really interested.
Right.
It's a form of expression.
It is.
When you talk, when Turtle talks about, well, what else can we do? We're down here screaming, and you say, here's another avenue for you to express yourself, right? Whether it be with, because a lot of times right now, I mean, you guys have told me that rap music is a way of expressing. Because I ask you,
your story, period, is a way to express.
Yeah, I know, because we talked about that. I say, hey, do we have to? And they say that it's the truth. That's life.
Let it go.
That's life, right? So, but if you do that visually with the arts, you do it with video productions. I mean, that's an interesting.
And then that kind of production and that kind of system, what we like about it, allow us to be ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most important thing about it. You know what I'm saying? So when you seeing these rap songs or when you're doing it, we just expressing our stories. Or when I'm motivational speaking and I might touch something that you might don't want to hear, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just want you to feel what I felt. That's my way to express, okay, this was going on.
That's
you know
art.
what I'm saying? This how I'm living. You know what I mean? So that's how it be.
That's art. So that's why I take it back to the whole rap discussion. Is that when I say something about, you're a rap guy, and I'll say, man, that's rough. I don't. And they'll say,
he said that Wooda a little bit too, bro. Shout out to the homie Wooda,
Hey,
man.
shout out to Wooda.
Scrap Young World.
Everybody,
Solo,
Wooda.
right? My boy, speak they ready. K3, they speak they ready. It's a little on the rough side. It's a lot on the rough side.
It's a lot on
Because
the
it's
rough
like those boys live. But
They grew up like us, bro.
right,
We went through the same
right.
thing. We just blessed and made it through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids ain't make it through. And that's why we here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really trying to get this door open so we can teach our homeboys when they get out, they have a safe place to come, and we know how, and they can express themselves music way and really show them how to do it without living it how we was living it at first. You know what I'm saying? Because right now,
each generation learns from the one before. It will all be
one
better,
before.
right? So
You know what I'm saying?
what you just said is beautiful,
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
So
That's what we're trying to do. Help our generation.
But even the conversations we're having now, Paul, is in this group is even improving, right? So all the rising tide lifts all ships, right? So what we're saying, go back to to pull it back through, as you said, why should somebody in another part of Little Rock care? A rising tide lifts all ships, right?
Yeah. So I'd say, if you don't care just out of humanity, so you don't give a rip because you don't know the people and don't want to be bothered by it, well, then I'd say you're paying for it out of your pocketbook. And therefore you should care. Take interest.
It ain't just they paying for it on their pocketbook. When I go in other states and they say, where you from? And I say, Little Rock. And the first thing they say, I don't want to go there banging in Little Rock. Y'all banging down there. That ain't just no way that y'all know us like that all the time. They only know us for banging and troubling things. That ain't cool. We got diamond mines too. So we should be known by diamonds to be the biggest in the world right there in Hot Springs. And create rice, cotton, and all that. I mean, you know what we do down here. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Preston might ought to get you on that.
we be Bollywood in there.
We got Walmart. We got dealers. We got elements down here.
Shout out to the Arkansas companies.
You feel me? And we ain't just tired of being just known for banging, bro. We ain't just that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like that I at least need to pay attention because this is what what we look like out there in the other world, and we ain't trying to look like that. We trying to turn the whole thing around and look like we try to be more productive in our culture and a way to live out here, and really put in our work like other states are doing. Like even in the rap game, we don't even have a David Banner. You know what I'm saying? We don't have see what I'm saying? We don't even have a Pooh Shiesty. We don't have nothing like this. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to start building our kids, man, and help. We
just don't have the markets for them.
We don't. You know what I'm saying? And our state not supporting us. They need to support us, bro. Before, you know what I'm saying? Before we get too reckless like it's already doing. You know what I'm saying? We can really save some stuff out here, and we just need the city to rock with us, man. Support us sometime. You know what I'm saying? Other than something bad.
You can just save one life. It's worth
saving some of these bodies from dropping.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what EME about, and that's what we're trying to do. Trying to save at least more than, if we can save 10, we ain't even trying to save one. If we bring 10 out, 10 we coming back with. That's how Southside used to roll back in my era anyway. If I walk out that house with 10 of us, I'm walking back home with 10 of us. Right. Period. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. That's how it was. You know what I'm saying? So that's up with the city, man.
Say we trying to run the morgue out of business.
I like that. So if you've seen Banging in Little Rock, and you see the guy who's the coroner. If you watch it,
we know him.
Set around him. You actually know him?
Some of them. Some of the corners. They moved. They used to live like.
I don't even know what to believe.
The Moorish places on Martin Luther King, they moved it. Now it's a Family Dollar. Where that Family Dollar used to be, they used to be the Moorish. Right there. In front of my daddy house. Yeah. And like, the people was there for a long time, and then it just closed, and then it was an empty spot, and then shout out to the people who put the Family Dollar up there. If I'm mistaken, the home team, some people from the home team. I don't know yet.
I haven't checked into that.
We got us a Family Dollar in the neighborhood going down. Martin Luther King, whoop, whoop. Other than a trap, we got a Family Dollar on King. You hear me? So we proud of that. You know what I'm saying? We got us a doctor's office. Now we working on us a women's doctor's office on King. We try to fill that whole block up.
Hey, but even though we asking for resources, we also want to be careful on gentrification. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to gentrify our neighborhood, we need to do it.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need to have black-owned businesses. And we need to have black business owners, black business, so that young man and that young girl can see that woman owning her business or that man owning a business that looks like her or look like him. So if we're going to gentrify our neighborhood, we need to do it.
I agree. And that's why I think the entrepreneurship part of that, even if someone doesn't start their own business, but if they can study how entrepreneurs think, that entrepreneurial mindset, they'll make more money at the job they go work.
We got all the entrepreneurs you want, baby. I got homeboy 15, 16 years old and had $100,000. That's a business mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is actually a business mind. It's directing it to
legitimize the hustle.
Right.
I agree with you.
So that's the only thing we we lacking. We're gonna teach you how to let's legitimize this mind. Let's make this mind beautiful. We're gonna teach you how to go get your EIN, how to go, you know what I'm saying? But you can't be doing that with this now. They call money laundering how many coming. You feel me? So, but we'll keep that same business mind frame.
Yeah.
See what you like to do in life. Let's train you on it, you know, and take that and go own it and run out with it and do what you love to do with it. But just turn that mind frame around, because that's all we like. That's your first job, is getting that sack. The homie got a sack. If I can't get no job, the homie got the sack. You feel me? And the big homie gonna pass it down, and it is what it is. You in business. And then I can't come later on in the game and tell one of my little homies who making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every week and tell them not to sell drugs, and I don't have nothing to replace that with.
Not at all.
It's not gonna happen.
They're not gonna listen to you.
Right. So you have to be able to bring a resource and something to replace them selling drugs. Yeah. Where it's somewhere it's good enough for them to put down their sack and say, hey, you know what? Let me go and try it this way, and let me do it this way. Ooh. And you're not on the street,
right,
doing that or carrying that gun or out there in the nonsense or get caught up in something to get killed or to kill somebody. You at work. You running a business. You know, you going home, you tired after work. You probably got kids, so now you're more stable.
You're older, and you able to take your 12-year-old or your 13-year-old nephew or your 13-year-old son or something to work with you and able to pay them, you know what I'm saying, to get out there and watch them, you know what I'm saying, to put a little money in their pocket and help they folks pay a little bills in their house so they won't have to run to the, you know, out there and do to the dope or whatever y'all want to call them, you know what I'm saying, and get money in their fashion. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just start building up and employing some people, empowering some people so they can empower others and just get it going. You know what I'm saying? I
want to do that by this summer. I want to find the first location for a resource center. And we'll partner. I mean, we'll have the 100 Families Alliance. We'll be able to meet folks down there, but I want to offer some of these entrepreneurship programs. I want to figure out how we can get a studio down there and it can generate its own cash so it can stay in business.
Right. And the South End is a beautiful place to start.
You know, teach people how to make money in that business.
Right.
So you've got, and I'm not the guy for the arts, okay, but in music business, so you can sell direct now. Right. You could be a worship leader for a church.
Right.
You're podcasting, and you could get people to support your podcast.
Marketing.
Right. You that's right. You do voiceover. You do commercials for folks. I mean, and on it goes. You could be a production tech. You could learn how to use the TV, the video, and sync that with the audio. And so there's lots of business opportunities out there. And if we can teach entrepreneurship in there, someone's going to figure out some new ground to take.
Right.
So I've got two guys sitting at the table that can teach personal finance too. So.
Hey now, we got accountants in there. Yeah, the future is in the house right now.
The future is in the house.
Well, I'm hearing you guys say, like, man, y'all have the resources. The resources are there. They're just channeled in the wrong directions right now. But what I'm just loving about what y'all are saying is, like, it's empowering my environment. I'm respecting someone else's humanity to get up and go do their own thing, take what their resources that they have as a human being,
right, and
like, yeah, here you go. Let me show you the way. But you're like giving them the power for them to step into, take my talents in my life and make a way with it. Y'all aren't helping my environment. Y'all are empowering people. Say, hey, you take the power. You take the power.
Yeah. Hey, we're just doing the American thing.
Yeah,
that's what America's built out for.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what,
I mean, it's really a lot of what Paul's doing is that he comes in to you guys and he says, look, I can help you, but I can't do it.
No.
You guys have to do it. And you guys have to change your neighborhoods, like you said. You gentrify it, or whatever you want to call it, right? And you have to be the leaders, and you have to get up every day and do this. There's going to be hard days, right? But that's what Paul says. Look, I can't do it. You have to make these decisions. And then so you guys get the path cleared for you, and then you tell your kids, hey, I can't do it for you, but I can show you the way. Right. I can give you the tools, and I can make this a possibility. And this is how you do it. It doesn't happen overnight,
Right.
but in the long run, this is the best way to go.
Right. And that's an elder's responsibility in the community. It's like, hey, look, y'all got this door open. Come on up in here. Let's rush it. I got this door open. Let's eat. So as long as I can get this door open, and Turkey are gonna make sure it stay open so they can come in. And
Kind of what I did with my people.
Yeah.
I said, I got this door open.
Right.
Come in.
Yeah.
Go on,
Feed
there.
the wolves.
And what happened?
Hey, this the homie new guy, man. New guy, why you ain't saying that? You right over there? Yeah, that's the
I'm
homie,
just
man.
soaking it in.
Yeah,
Right.
soaking it in.
Man, we appreciate y'all coming through.
Whoa.
Done it always, big homie, man. We appreciate the love.
Man,
Big homie
yeah.
Paul, you the man. We love you, man. Ran the cameraman.
Hey, man. Whoa.
My Yoda.
Hey, y'all know
Hey,
what
man,
time to
hey.
meet up with us, man. Tuesday.
Tune in with us next Tuesday, man. We'll probably try to get this episode 3 back up, and we'll come back at y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all love each other, man.
EME.
Let's do what's right.
Tommy rocking. Whoa.